Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Janikke Klem, and I am with Technology Credit Union. We're a financial institution located in Silicon Valley, and I'm the Vice President of Community and Government Relations, which means I oversee the corporate philanthropy, employee engagement, as well as all of our policy work. A little bit more about me. I'm also a former professional fundraiser, so I come from the nonprofit side, which I think makes this work really interesting. I'm the mom of 4-year-old twins, so I am all about the play. I'm all about the play base. I'm all about having that activity, because if you don't move 4-year-olds and children, you will pay for it. So I'm glad to hear that. And then also, thank you to my colleagues who've been talking about the ways that corporations are getting involved. This is going to be a very tactical presentation. So we've heard a lot about why, and I want to now talk about how we've been doing the work of partnering with NGOs and nonprofits, especially in Silicon Valley. PowerPoint isn't my strong suit, but I like some visuals, so here we go. So what are the reasons that corporations are partnering with NGOs? We've heard about a lot of them, but one is it creates goodwill and promotes a better image for the company. It helps to alleviate or solve social problems, helping to better the community and the world. It ensures social capital to maintain and grow operations. This is a key one in Silicon Valley. As you have heard from Thomson Reuters, that employee retention is a big thing. It is a huge problem in Silicon Valley. We have trouble recruiting and we have trouble retaining employees. The stronger our CSR program is, the more that we allow employees to participate in their passion projects, the longer they tend to stay. So it is a really key thing for us. It's a big motivator. Other reasons why corporations participate in partnerships is it can spur innovation and product development. It enhances potential revenue in new markets. And for financial institutions, it actually fulfills a compliance need. For for-profit financial institutions in the United States, they are required to comply with the Community Reinvestment Act. And that is federal law that states that a certain portion of your revenue needs to go back into local communities. And so through CSR programming, there is some compliance needs that are being met. So reasons for NGOs to participate in partnerships. Again, creates goodwill, promotes better image, things that we've been hearing about. It also helps to leverage other relationships. It increases resources from financial support to skills-based volunteering, improves long-term sustainability of programs, and empowers through capacity building. There's a really important note to think about when you're talking about corporate partnerships, especially those of you from NGOs. An interesting statistic, in the US, 70% of charitable giving comes from individuals. 70%. Foundations account for 16%. Bequests, what people leave in their wills and their estates, is about 9%. That leaves 5% of all philanthropic giving in the United States comes from foundations. So while it is critical to be involved and critical to have partnerships with corporations, and you're hearing more about it's not just about investment. This is literally just dollars. This isn't time. This isn't shared tech. This isn't any of that. This is just dollars. It isn't the be-all, end-all when you're looking to find some financial support for your organization. Again, 5% comes from corporations. And that's been standing around that number for at least a decade or two. All right, so what are some of the key ingredients to some of these partnerships? This is when TechCU looks to partner with somebody, these are the key areas that we look at. The first one is mission and focus alignment. I sit in the Silicon Valley where a lot of the largest companies in the world are, and lots of local nonprofits think because they are sitting there that they should immediately partner. That's not necessarily the case. If you are working with myself at TechCU, we focus on 4 areas. STEM education and workforce development. We want to grow the next generation of tech workers. That tends to be our member base. Financial literacy, because we're a financial institution. Affordable housing, which is one of the biggest challenges in Silicon Valley. Affordable housing and transportation, I'd probably say, as my fellow colleague here in the Valley can testify to that. And the last one is health and wellness. If you don't work in those areas, we're probably not going to find alignment. I've had lots of people come to me with amazing issues around environmentalism and things that we just don't do. So don't try to fit that square peg in that round hole. It's not worth your time to invest to try to get because you think there might be a checkbook behind it. You've really got to find some mission alignment. Also set clear expectations when you do find that alignment. Set clear expectations from the start. And really for both sides. We heard about we want a win-win on both sides of the equation. But another thing to think about when you're thinking about alignment, while there is geographic, we also don't invest internationally yet. That's on the list. So for an example of mission alignment, there's a large biotech company located in South San Francisco called Genentech, and people like to think that they want to work with them. Well, Genentech's been very strategic in focusing on their geographic area. They work in South San Francisco. They have created a model program for working with schools in South San Francisco. So they're not going to be investing in a lot of other activities, even though their employees may live around the area. They have decided that South San Francisco is their region. So lots of nonprofits know, Genentech, fantastic, glad you're doing the work, but we're probably not going to reach out to you. So again, think about that mission alignment. And then other ways is that companies actually will see a problem in the area and look for partners to solve that problem. One of them, the example that I like to give is two quick ones. One is Downtown Streets Team. They are, again, a model organization on working in homelessness. And what they do is they actually train people who are living on the streets to help clean up the streets. And through that model, they then provide job placement and housing placement. Their rates are through the roof. They're starting to spread in lots of different cities, but Google knew about them. Google came into San Francisco and immediately partnered with them because they saw the problem on the streets and wanted to get a solution to that. Another one is workforce development. That's a big thing for us at TechCU, is that we are now looking to partner with school districts, community colleges, nonprofit partners working in the education space to get high school students and community college students into internships, because we see that as a strong career pathway. Another ingredient that's important is the potential for employee engagement and skills-based volunteering. Lots of corporations in Silicon Valley will only partner with those who will have opportunities for the employees to engage. It's not about the check, it's about the involvement. So is there an opportunity for some real smart volunteering? Don't throw people at something, because volunteers are expensive. They can suck up a lot of staff time, which you just need to be cognizant of. So make sure that your volunteer opportunities, one, match the employee's ability to volunteer. There was a great reading program, but it was every Thursday in the afternoon, and we just couldn't allow staff to go every Thursday in the afternoon throughout the whole school year. So make sure that it works with employee schedules. Let's see. And on employee volunteering, lots of skills-based stuff that can happen, from legal, IT, marketing, technology improvements, and a big one is cybersecurity. I think that there's a growing observation that nonprofits are really sort of lacking in this skill and lacking in security. So reaching out to companies to partner with that is a real smart idea. And then the one that TechCU looks for is we are really looking for opportunities for our employees to go out and test out their new leadership skills. We have a strong in-house L&D program that's providing managers and other staff that we're trying to upskill with leadership skills. And we don't just want them to test those in the work environment. We want to have them bring those out to the community. So are there ways for you to help leverage some of those new leadership skills? And speaking of leadership, as somebody had mentioned, the best way to increase your partnership or to make sure that it is viable is to get leadership buy-in from the company or the corporation itself. I know that you can work with me as the CSR person, which is fantastic, and I love to partner with folks, but if I can then get somebody from my C-suite or maybe the next management layer down to participate as well, it's going to deepen the partnership, it's going to expand the visibility opportunity. So that's something that you really want to think about when you're starting to into conversations. And those leadership opportunities can look like board placement, committee, speaking engagements, mentoring, lots of interesting ways to get some of that leadership involved. And then make sure that when you talk about investment, that the investment level makes sense for the partnership. Ensure that the time and investment made in the nonprofit is proportional to the returns that you're receiving. In other words, don't chase the money. As a former nonprofit fundraiser, I had lots of companies that would come to me and say, I worked at a university. We really want to work with your university. We want to do this certain thing, and we will give you this amount of money. Fantastic. We as a university don't do that. We would like the money, but we have to say no. If your nonprofit is not already providing a program, that and this happens a lot, that a corporation comes in and says, we are going to solve your problems. We're going to come in and do all of this for you. If it doesn't align with what you're trying to do and it doesn't make sense, It's not a smart move to make. You're going to see the funding come in for the X amount of time that they've said, and then odds are they're out. And then you're left with possible staff. You're left with now expectations of clients or members or whoever that you're now offering this service. So do not chase the money. Find something that is along your missions and don't have what we call mission creep. That mission creep can really cost you time and potentially cost you your organization. The other ingredient that we look for at TechCU is visibility. So we heard, what is it that's going to help with this partnership to get my brand out, to let my employees, to let my members, to let the community know the great work that TechCU is doing? Is there storytelling potential? Is there social media? Are there awards? What are the visible opportunities to have that company look good? Plain and simple. And also be able to know that we are hitting our mission of what we're trying to do. And again, the biggest thing for TechCU is education and workforce development. We are really trying to take that next generation of first-year college-going students and raise them up and bring them into the tech ecosphere that we are seeing a lack of local talent, and we want them to be part of that. So how can we get that story out? And then finally, is there a way to measure all of this? You know, measuring and the data tracking is so important to this. Are there ways to ensure impact, outcomes, evaluate what works for the partnership, and also ways to enhance, improve, or change what isn't working? Failure of programs leads to new opportunities. Just like in Silicon Valley, we fail fast. If the program isn't working, if it's starting to fail, that's an excellent, ripe opportunity to start to reevaluate and pivot. And we heard this mentioned once before, and I want to underscore this. Just like you don't want to chase the money, working with corporations, we're a finicky bunch, and that especially young companies, we get focused on one thing and we're in it for a year, and then bright, shiny object, we move to the next focus area, and we tend to move around a lot. And it's not fair to our nonprofit partners. If there is a way to get a multi-year commitment, to see some longevity in your corporate partnership, it's huge. Otherwise, we'll come in, and I say the broad we, not necessarily just my company, but I'm kind of speaking in general terms here. But I've seen it happen both from the nonprofit side and the corporate side. Come in and we see something, we want to put our money into it, it's fantastic, and then leadership says, nope, this year we have a new focus. And we have to pull back from our nonprofit partners and plug in over here. However, if we've had a multi-year commitment and we can show leadership how this is going to develop over the next three to 5 years, and let's stay in the long haul because of these specific outcomes, you as an NGO are going to see some sustainable funding for those years. We as a corporation are going to be able to put our foot down on this and really dive in deep to see what we can do over that 3 to 5 year time span. So again, it's not chasing, but it's getting that sustainable ability to have a long program. As I said, I like pictures. Oh, I haven't even been moving my slides forward, so thank you. So excited about just chatting. So a couple of examples of what we've been doing. With all the kids in the picture, we love to be out in schools, so we've been partnering with a nonprofit that creates College Day Silicon Valley. And College Day is one day in schools throughout the area that talks about college-going culture. So we bring our employees out to talk about their college to career journey. That picture in the middle, that is Downtown Streets team. You want to talk about a nonprofit that's really doing the work that is amazing. They also provided an opportunity for C-level folks and other people and companies to participate in one of their fundraisers, which was a very visible one because basically rappelled, if you know what rappelling is, down ropes off of usually like a cliff or a rock. We did it off of Adobe's world headquarters. So I'm proud to say that I rappelled off of a 16-story high-rise. The girl that can barely look over 2 stories did 16 stories. And now all I want to do is tell people about that, and even better, tell them about the nonprofit Downtown Street team. So the nonprofit is amazingly winning, and me, I get to say I rappelled off of Adobe's world headquarters. And yes, those are my twins. And then we have our head of IT. We like to bring our folks out and talk to especially young boys of color to get them into fields and thinking about what their career trajectory could be. We bring groups of students, lots of them through the summer, to our campus to learn about all the different career opportunities. And then one of my favorite examples of partnership is that we have been partners with an organization called Project We Hope that is working with the homeless population in the Santa Clara and San Mateo County area, really around East Palo Alto. They have now what's called Dignity on Wheels, and it's a trailer that has showers and laundry facilities. And that while that is an amazing asset to the people who really need it, the problem was is that they didn't know where it was. And they were having to call the nonprofit every morning and say, where's the van this year? Where's the trailer today? Where is it? The staff was inundated. We partnered with an organization called Get Involved Foundation that takes high school students and gives them projects with NGOs in the area to work on over the summer, and it's paid. We had the Get Involved Foundation, we supported an intern, found someone who could create an app for this. So now people can pull up the app, know where the Dignity on Wheels trailer is, and are not calling. So it has solved multiple problems. We had multiple partners now working together. Those two are finding other ways to work together, and that's the gold to us. If we can find some of our nonprofit partners partnering together, we can come in and help aid that. We love that. That collaborative effort is just fantastic for the community. So, again, don't chase the money. Realize that corporations are a part of the puzzle, but if you're really seeking funding, individuals philanthropically are the ones that tend to be the big players. And I want to thank you because this is important work. I love that I get to be from the nonprofit side into the corporate side to see, and I'm really transparent with all of my nonprofit partners and really transparent with my corporate friends about how best to do this work.